what's between Prince Caius here, and this is What If Deku Had Professor X's Powers, Part 1. Deku can do anything a telepath can do, and he can use low-level telekinesis, but he won't use it that much. But he will have Cerebro made by S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, let's get into this what if. Child Arc. When Deku and Inko go to the hospital to see if he has a quirk, they tell him that he is quirkless. A few days later, Deku started to develop his quirk, while his class was telling everyone their quirks. When Deku started to hear everyone's mind from miles, he rushed out of school and ran home, and when he arrived home, he ran to his mom and told her that his quirk manifested, but he can't deactivate his quirk. Inko takes Deku to the hospital and to see if they can help him. They put Deku in a room that helps telepaths, and then they called S.H.I.E.L.D. and told him about Deku. A few weeks later, S.H.I.E.L.D. arrives and gives Deku a prototype of Cerebro, but it only blocks Deku from reading people's minds. A few days later, Deku is able to go home in school. A few years later, when Deku is 12 years old, S.H.I.E.L.D. comes to his house to fix Cerebro. But when Deku saw Melissa S.H.I.E.L.D., he got all nervous and started to mess up his words while he was talking. But Deku couldn't hear anyone's mind. Deku started to get happy that he couldn't hear anything, and told S.H.I.E.L.D. that he thinks he doesn't need it anymore. Melissa tells her dad that she made a better one, and asks Deku if he wants the new one. Deku asks how it is better than the old one. Melissa tells Deku that it will amplify his quirk, and he can read everybody's mind on the planet, and only the strongest telepaths can use it. Deku and S.H.I.E.L.D. were shocked, but Deku agreed to take it and put it on, and when he activates his quirk, he hears everybody's minds and starts to get a nosebleed. After he takes it off, he tells them that he's fine, but he will get used to it soon, to the new Cerebro soon. A few years later, Deku is now 14 years old. Deku mastered his quirk and found out about All Might's quirk and is dating Melissa for over a year now. One day when Deku is walking home, he gets attacked by the sludge villain, but Deku puts him to sleep and grabs his notebook while waiting for All Might to appear. When he arrives, Deku tells All Might that he took care of the sludge villain by putting him to sleep, and that he knows about his quirk because he is the strongest telepath on the planet. All Might remembers S.H.I.E.L.D. talking about Deku one time and asks Deku if he's the one that David S.H.I.E.L.D. was talking about. Deku tells All Might that he's that Izuku Midoriya, and that he'd like to be the next symbol of peace. All Might tells Deku if he wants his power, then meet him at the beach a few days from now. Deku agrees to meet All Might there. A few days later, Deku arrives at the beach, and All Might tells Deku that he thought that he won't come to the beach. Deku tells All Might that he will do anything to be the symbol of peace. Months later, Deku receives One for All, and is more muscular than his Season 3 counterpart, being able to use 32% of One for All. UA exam arc. Everything happens the same until the robot test. When the test began, Deku dashed past everyone while using 18% of One for All and destroying every robot in his way, but after he got enough points, he waited for the 0-point robot because he telepathically knew that it was going to come soon. So when the 0-point robot arrives, Deku telepathically tells everyone to run away from a specific area. While he shoots the shoots at the 0-point robot with a mind blast, destroying it. A few days later, Deku gets accepted to UA, and when he arrives at his classroom, Ida thanked Deku for telling him to run away from the big robot, the 0-point robot, and the same thing he says in the anime and manga. When Uraraka arrives, she thanks Deku as well for saving her as well. And Aizawa then appears and tells them to meet him outside for a test. Aizawa test. Everything happens the same, but Deku gets first place in everything. Battle test arc. Deku and Uraraka versus Bakugo and Ida. Before the test starts, Deku tells Uraraka that he is the strongest telepath, but he can use low-level telekinesis. Uraraka was surprised that Deku is the strongest telepath and can use telekinesis as well. When the test begins, Deku tells Uraraka where the bomb is at, and that he will take care of Bakugo, and what Ida will do that one of them is coming, because one of them is gonna go to the room where the bomb is. So he'd remove everything in the room just in case Uraraka or Deku came. They both split up when they enter the building. When Deku gets close to Bakugo, he dodges the attack, then slams Bakugo into the ground while making him think his arms are not there anymore, causing Bakugo to yell in pain while trying to use his quirk, but Deku uses 5% of One For All and axe kicks Bakugo in the head, knocking him out. Deku ties him up, then rushes towards the bomb while Ida and Uraraka are fighting. When Deku arrives, Deku bursts through the door while making Ida scared of him and dashes towards him and hits Ida in the gut while he was paralyzed from fear. Uraraka then grabs the bomb and they win the test. The USJ arc. Spoilers ahead. A few weeks later, everything happens the same until the villains show up. Deku puts them all to sleep besides Shigaraki and Kirigiri and the Nomu, and telepathically tells them to leave and that he will be coming after them and their boss soon. They decline to leave, so Deku makes Kirigiri teleport everyone, just teleports Shigaraki, and keeps Kirigiri and the Nomu there. Deku then dashes to the Nomu using 100% of One For All and blasts him into the sky. Deku goes inside of Kirigiri's mind while saving Loud Cloud and gives him a mental block so he can stay in control and act like Kirigiri and be the spy for him and lets him leave. When All Might arrives, Deku telepathically tells him that he has it all under control, then goes to Aizawa and tells him to meet him in the teacher's lounge. When they arrive, Deku tells Aizawa that Loud Cloud is still alive, but he can't tell him who it is because if he does, it might cause him to be in danger, possibly. Aizawa starts to cry and thanks Deku for letting him know, and asks Deku if he could tell President Mike. Deku tells Aizawa that he let him hear the conversation just now with telepathically linking. Now, this will be the end of this video, but I hope you liked this video, this what if, and like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all later.